Hello and welcome back. Oh, you fucking laugh every time.
Smiling like 20 seconds at the camera. And then said,
Two Andrews, one fucking barbell. I'm fucking Andrew Blackwood.
And I'm Andrew Rowe.
Yeah.
Your host.
And I'm the other fella. We are back to do part 2 of the previous episode. The ideas, the lessons, the life hacks, all
Tips
those
and
kind
tricks.
of things. Yeah, all of that stuff, because there was so much left over from the previous episode. I really liked the last one that we did. I thought that was like I don't know, I just had so many of those ideas and I'm like, I'd love to talk about this in the podcast. And then it was just an excuse to talk about all those things on the podcast. So I think we will just jump straight back in again.
We can just jump straight in. Is there anything in the last few days you want to cover before we start?
What happened? I, yesterday, was going to the gym and got in the car, drove to the gym, got all my stuff out of the car, closed the door, walked off, went to lock the car over my shoulder. And I was like, oh, normally I hear a click. Let me try it again. Nothing. And I was like, what? This is so weird. The battery was dead in the car key. But, okay, so the battery died in my other key a week or 2 weeks ago. So I just switched to the spare key that I had. I was like, fucking, I don't know how to change the key and a fucking thing. I'm not going to worry about it. Like, I'll just use the other one until that one dies. Like, I've only used one for like however many years I've been driving. So hopefully the other one just has a load of juice in it.
That's weird.
But the other day, I parked my car somewhere where I wouldn't normally, and I locked it. But as I was walking up the road, there was like a street sign, and it was in the dark. But the street sign would light up yellow when I locked the car. And I was like, that's funny. So I kept just locking the car, and it kept lighting up yellow, because it was really far away. I didn't expect. I was like, that surely wasn't for me locking the car. And it was. And I was like, oh, that's funny. And I did it again.
Still over your shoulders.
Yeah, I must have done it like 20 times. So I was like, fuck, maybe that drained the car battery. I don't think so. Anyway, I was like, what do I fucking do? I had looked it up on YouTube the last time when the car battery died. So you are able to open a car manually, obviously. Some cars just have the thing in the door handle where you can put the key in.
Is yours?
It does, but it's hidden. So it's you have to pop a bit of plastic off the door handle and then you can access it. So I was like, okay, whatever. I'll be able to get into the car. But both the keys now are out of juice. So I need to figure that out. And I was like, what do I do? I thought it was going to be some big thing. I looked it up. It's literally a 40-second YouTube video. It was you push the top off the key, you change the little disc, and then you put the new battery in. So there's a Screw Fix, just a hardware store that's beside the gym. So I just went in and I was like, do you have the CR2025 battery? And he was like, yeah, it's 2 for a $5. I was like, nice. And then I just, and I changed the thing and I was like, oh my God, am I a mechanic?
Does anyone need their car fixed?
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
I also had to change my headlights maybe 3 weeks ago. That was actually I felt like a mechanic after doing that one, because you actually have to take the battery out of the car to be able to access the place for the headlights. I was watching a video from a mechanic and he was like, fuck Skoda, this is the stupidest fucking design. What the fuck did you do? So anyway, yeah, I did that. Oh, my hands were in bits after it as well. He's like, just turn to the left slightly. And I was literally with all of the strength that I had trying to do it. And my fingers were getting cut on the inside of the metal fucking casing and everything.
Do you have any tools?
You couldn't even reach, man. I literally had to lean forward and invert my arm and tuck it into the thing to try access the...
Seen that before.
Crazy. Anyway, I got it done and I was like, I'm the man.
Yeah.
I am the man. For some reason in my head, I was like, oh, when I get a car, everything is just going to always be fine in it. Nothing is ever going to go wrong. Yeah. So I've had that car for probably 3 years or something, and nothing has gone wrong. Actually, there was a period of time where I kept getting this warning where it was loss of pressure detected in your front wheel. And then I would go fill it up and then it would be fine for maybe a week. And then if I would do a big drive, I would get the loss of pressure. And I was like, it's fucking weird. The car's broken. It doesn't know. There's no loss of pressure. It's totally fine. And then I kept getting this. I was like, okay, I'll fucking bring it to the place that does tires and stuff. And instantly your man was like, yeah, you've got 2 nails in the front left one, and then there's 1 nail in the back right, and then there's something on the inside of the front right one. And I was like, okay, we'll just replace them all.
Yep.
So yeah, that had happened. But other than that, she's a beauty. She keeps me going. Yeah, anyway, that happened. What about you? Anything going on in your world?
Similarly, my car failed the NCT because the reverse light was out.
Ooh.
Just the reverse light. They said, just bring it back. Show us the reverse light's fixed. You're good to go.
Okay. Someone said this to me the other day, and they were like, I think my reverse light is out, and they went into like the Halfords or whatever like the car place is, and they were like, I think my right reverse light is out, and the person was like, yeah, you're an idiot. It's only one reverse
It's
light.
only one.
Yeah. Wait, what is? I'm so confused.
It's like when you're looking at the car in front of you, it's only the left tail light.
Is it?
That illuminates, yeah.
Is it only? I actually never knew that. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, because I would have been that idiot. Like, I fucking
Fair.
man, we're doing a
You don't
car.
see your car from the back.
This
We
is
see
a car
every other
podcast,
car
brother.
from the back. Yeah.
We're gonna have so many new listeners.
It's for the cars. If you need your car fixed, Andrew can do it. But essentially, it wasn't just out. There was some issue internally that when we put it into reverse, it wasn't triggering the bulb to come on. So my friend, Sean, who is actually into cars, serviced the car, and we got a switch. He went under the car, replaced the switch, so that we're in the reverse. When the gear goes into reverse, it presses or comes off the switch, and the
I love a man who's good with his hands. Anyway,
so today we're gonna go part 2.
Yeah.
Tips, tricks, lessons, ideas,
Life hacks.
thoughts from 2024 going into 2025. Andrew's gonna start.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Okay. Remember, as I was saying in the last one, where I have the journal that has the little like quotes in it, and each day it gives you like a new little quote. One of them is, acknowledging the good you already have in your life is the foundation for all abundance. From Eckhart Tolle, or whatever his name is.
Eckhart Tolle?
Yeah, something like that. And he's a German fella, German philosopher of sorts, modern philosopher. Love it. So that led me to the whole idea of gratitude. And I'd say 2024 was a big year for the gratitude. So I wrote some more things a little bit below. Oh, okay. I've written here the parable of the Mexican fisherman. Do you know that one?
No.
From Modern Wisdom, you have to know. I think it was in the Chris Bumstead episode.
Tell me.
Okay. I need to have a think so that I can remember it properly, because I don't want to fuck it up, because this, when I first heard it, changed, I feel like I say everything like changed my worldview, but a lot of things do change my worldview. They shape or they influence my perspective. So the parable of the Mexican fisherman, it's something along the lines of, there's like a wealthy businessman who goes on a vacation to this like coastal village in Mexico, and he sees a fisherman on his little boat, and he has a couple of like fresh fish that he's caught, and he asks him, he's like, oh, like, how long did it take you to catch those fish? And the fisherman was like, oh, it only took me a little while. And he goes, how come you don't stay out longer and catch more fish? And he goes, this is all that I need to sustain me and my family's needs. And then he's going, oh, but like, if you stay out there for more time, you could catch way more fish, and then you could start selling them on. And then you could even cut out selling them to a middleman. You could start selling them directly to the consumer. And then if you keep growing your enterprise, you can move to like Mexico City. And then beyond that, you can move to Los Angeles, and then you can move to New York City, where you can run your fish enterprise. And I go, oh my goodness, what the hell? And he goes, but like, I already have everything that I need. I wake up late in the day, I have siestas with my wife, I play with my kids, I go and do a little bit of fishing, and then I drink some wine, and I play guitar and listen to music with my friends. And he's going, no, we can make millions. We can make millions together with this plan, okay? I'm a Harvard MBA or whatever it is. Like, we can make a whole lot of money doing this. He's going, millions, okay. Then what? And he goes, that's the best bit. Then you can retire. You can move to a coastal village. You can sleep in late. You can play with your kids. You can whatever, and drink wine and listen to music with your friends. And the guy goes, oh, okay, interesting. So that whole idea of like, you can shortcut the end point. You know, we're always taught that we need to work towards this, like being rich, being successful, all like the commodities that you see around, the nice car, the nice house, like all of this kind of stuff. Why? Like, it is the desire for those that the end point will be happiness and feeling fulfilled and all of that kind of stuff? If so, you probably have all of the things that you already need to make you feel fulfilled and happy. You can shortcut that endpoint. Like you don't need to do all that amount of work just to reach the same endpoint. If you're already there, brother, he's already in the little coastal village, fucking sleeping in late and drinking wine and all that kind of stuff. So that for me, I was like, oh shit.
That is lovely.
Like, do I need to have like the nicest car? Do I need to have like the nicest house? All of these kind of things? Or do I need to have a loving family and a community and enough for me to get by? And that has been an interesting idea. That you probably have all of the things that you need in order to make you happy. If you can just be grateful for them, you don't need to go on this big journey. Chasing things, you might not even know why you're chasing them. You might just be chasing them because you think they'll make you happy, but maybe they don't. So I did write more here, where it was about gratitude and you have everything that you already need. Avoiding the situation of, I will be happy when, because I think we do that a lot. But, and I don't think any of this is like new information for me. I think we all like inherently know all of this stuff. But I will be happy when, and then you get there, and then you move the goalposts again. It's like, I'll be happy if I can squat 300. And you get a 300 squat, and you're like happy for 5 minutes, and you're like, oh, but what about 320 though? Oh, when I get 320, then I'll really be happy. Or you get a nice car, and then a new model comes out, and you're like, oh, I need to get that new one. Oh, I'll be happy when I'm in the new whatever car it is. Or you get a house, and then you see someone with a bigger house. Oh, I would be living my best life if I was just there. Did you know that whole idea? I imagine you would have heard it, where there was a big survey and they asked people of all like income levels, at what income do you feel as though you would be like happy and satisfied? And everyone, regardless of if they were earning 10,000 a year or 10 million a year, I think all of them said about like 2.5 times the income that they had at the moment. Maybe that number is wrong, but it was around that, 2.5 times the income that they currently had. Everyone said that, regardless of how much money they were making. And then I have a little bit further down here that the gap is created in your mind and it's only a matter of perspective. So that gap between I will be happy at this point, that is sheerly like a perspective issue. If you took the perspective of I'm grateful for absolutely everything that I have at the moment, any surplus to that is just gain, like it's extra, it's more that you can enjoy rather than creating that deficit. And then it comes back to the whole idea of the gap and the gain in that book. I have that on my wish list because I actually never even listened to that. I just saw the idea or the premise of it from someone else. But yeah, taking that on board, that gap in the gain philosophy. So instead of looking at where you are now and imagining this place that you want to reach in the future, you're automatically creating this situation where you are not enough. Like you're not good enough. You aren't at that place that you want to be yet. You are perpetually not going to be enough because you're perpetually moving the goalposts. Instead, looking back at everything that you have gained and all of the progress that you have made and everything that you do have at the moment. So I'd say that is one of the big ideas, trying to practice gratitude. And that would be something that I try catch myself and ask. Like I'll just be driving, I'll be like, what am I grateful for right now? And it could be the most basic things. To have a car, to be able to travel around, to have a house, to have my family, everyone is healthy, everyone is happy, to have my own health, all of these kind of things, like any number of it, to be able to go to the gym, to have a nice community in the gym, to be able to come here, to be able to chat to my best friend, like all of those kind of things. And then when you start listing them off, you're like, holy shit, I've got it good. Oh my God. And something I keep finding myself saying is it doesn't get better than this. I'll just be in the middle of a training session, there'll be a few of the boys around, and I'm like, you know what? It doesn't get better than this. Like it literally doesn't get, like this right now, chatting with my boy.
It doesn't actually get better
than this. It doesn't get better than this.
No, it doesn't.
I love that, just being grateful for what you have at the moment. And that would be something when I'm chatting to people, I'll just be like, what are you grateful for today? And when I was like doing personal training, I would ask people that all the time. People would struggle to come up with answers so often. Or they'd try to come up with like a throwaway answer so they didn't really have to like dig into the question a little bit. But yeah, if you can make that a habit, and maybe it feels weird in the beginning. Maybe it does feel weird. Maybe you do feel like a bit of an idiot, like or a goof, trying to come up with things that you're grateful for. And then you do it a few days in a row and you're like, oh shit, I kind of feel better when I'm thinking about this stuff, as opposed to why am I shit? What am I lacking at the moment? Obviously you're going to feel fucking down in the dumps if you're always honing in on that. So yeah, the gap in the game, look at the game, stop focusing on the gap. You have everything that, what's that other quote? Oh, it's a modern wisdom one where it's like, you've already achieved the things that you said would make you happy a year ago. Like,
that were dreams.
Yeah. You're walking through doors right now that you once wished were open, and stuff of that nature. So yeah, you probably have everything you need. Don't stop kicking a can down the road. You know, be happy now. You're allowed to be happy now. You should be happy now. Be grateful now. And then every day is a gift, brother. Every day is beautiful. What was that fucking thing that we talked about the other day? Man, I'm getting fired up right now.
Yeah, man. Fired up.
What was that thing you were talking about? Where there's another book I'm listening to called Manifest. Oh, beautiful. Man, no, actually, do you know the way I listen to everything on 2 times speed? I'm slowing it down to 1 time speed because
You love it that much?
I don't want it to finish. I'm only...
He's slowing it down to 1 time speed. He doesn't want it to finish. Lesson number 2. Crazy.
Because it is like everything that's being said. I'm like, this is
Bangers.
I love this. This is bangers on bangers. Like it's all. I'm only maybe a quarter of the way in, and it's. Oh,
Can't stop.
Okay, I've only consumed.
We consumed a bit of it.
I've only listened to about a quarter of the book, but it's all about like self-love, self-compassion, all these kind of things.
Love it.
And one of the quotes or the topics was that you have to love yourself to the point that your cup is so full that it then overflows. And how do I say this without making it something that you'll laugh at? It overflows to the point that you can spread that love to the people around you.
Yes.
Fuck that. I had to do some mental gymnastics there to make that.
Whereas when your cup is half full, when your self-love cup is half full, what happens?
You're too concerned about yourself. You're not trying to share that.
You're also
trying to me. You're trying to preserve it. You're trying to protect it. You're trying to take.
Yeah. You're trying to take and you're trying to protect. Yeah.
So no more taking, more giving. Man, I'm gonna lean into it. To be honest, what more ones can I say?
Yes, you are.
Okay. Fuck. Okay.
While you were talking there,
that was a good one, man.
I wanted to ad-lib and add on.
Yeah, do it, brother. Jump in.
So the goalposts are forever moving.
Yeah.
And it is actually just being on the pitch that you need to appreciate and love. Yeah. And you hear this from ex-athletes. It's like, I'd give anything just to be playing again. Or you hear every time someone is is at a point in their life or of an age where something has passed definitely, it is never coming back. Yeah. Like you cannot play in the NBA again, or you cannot sit and talk with your best friend again. Yeah. It's like, they are the things that matter. While you are on the pitch is all that matters. Winning, losing, drawing, getting tackled, playing your best game, whatever it is actually being on the pitch that matters, not reaching the end point, not reaching the goalpost or the finish line or whatever it is.
The journey is the destination.
It is the fucking destination. It doesn't get any better than this.
Yeah,
because what are we waiting for?
Yeah.
Like we get to the goalpost, we make X amount of money per year and we're living in that house, and then all of a sudden we're like, damn, I've done it all.
Yep.
All that fun time is over.
Yeah. It's past, bro.
Andrew's gone.
It's past, bro.
Andrew's fishing in Mexico.
He's fishing in Mexico.
I killed him to get here. Someone said, you can have everything you want if you kill him, and now he's gone.
Oh, so that's crazy, actually. Sorry to interject. Yeah. My brother's doing a project in college, and it's about a movie where there's a guy who's like a recluse, and he has his cat, and he says hi to his cat every day, and blah, blah, blah. But one day, for whatever reason, he goes into the village, and he's so like wary of people, but everyone's actually being so nice. Everyone's being so lovely, and he's getting to chat, and so on and so forth. And someone like invites him to the pub, and it's the first time he's gone out in 20 years. And he goes to the pub and he has the best night ever, and he stumbles in at 3 a.m. And normally every night he says good night to the cat, and he stumbles back in, but he's drunk and he forgets, and he doesn't leave the door open for the cat to come back in or whatever it is. He wakes up the next morning, and normally the cat would wake him up next to him, and he's going, oh fucking, where's the cat? Goes out onto the front road, and the cat has been run over.
Why the fuck did you tell me that?
And then he goes back into the village, and he's like trying to tell people the story about his cat passing away, and all of a sudden the people aren't as nice as they were before, and everyone had been listening to it, like no one cared about the story about his cat. And then he sits in his back garden and he looks out and he realizes the cat was what I needed all along.
Why the fuck you tell me that?
I know, that's what I said to him. I was like, that's fucking miserable. That's the saddest shit I ever heard in my life. But I suppose that's the beauty of art, brother. It's to make you feel something.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, anyway, so that's what you got everything that you need at the moment, brother. You got the cat. If you got the cat, you can be happy, brother.
Something I realised, which is very much so in the same direction as what you're saying, is recently I've been talking to a few friends that are in the gym and the likes, and the time is now. Right? You know,
But he stole one of mine.
When I was younger, oh shit, you can.
No, go ahead.
You can. I'm teeing you up. So, you always hear again, generations above you, or when you were younger, literally people our age saying, "When I was in school, when I was in school, those days, oh my god, I had the best time at school. That teacher used to take the piss, and oh my god, we used to sit down in the canteen and have the best time, and oh my god, maths was actually great. You know, I loved that teacher. It really meant a lot to me." That's gone. So then, of course, but we're still young. So, you know, we're in college, and oh my God, when I used to go to college and the nights out I used to have in college, and I actually did this community and social club in college, and all the friends I made in college, or that lecturer was just so good, or fucking I hated that shit. But it meant I could see my friend. Gone. It's over.
Yeah.
It's done. The time is now. Like, the time to appreciate those things is now, because you will very soon get to the point where you're talking about it in the past tense indefinitely. Oh, that time, man, our junior career, you know, so good. It's over. Yeah. It's over. Yeah. For any junior lifter listening, it's very finite. Do not wish it away, or do not say, oh, I'm only going to, you know, enjoy this or be successful when I'm squatting X amount of kilos. Yeah. Do not do that. Because when you get there, when you get to the whatever arbitrary amount of kilos, it doesn't matter. And all that mattered is that you got there. Is the time you spent getting there. The time is, in fact, now, because you will get to a point where that time is gone. You cannot get it back.
Hell yeah, brother. And then I'm gonna jump on that.
Jump on it.
Even further. I'm gonna take it in a slightly different direction.
Yeah, you ride that shit.
Yeah. Right? It is that, like, now is the only time that exists, brother. The past fucking doesn't exist. We can't live in the past. The future doesn't exist. We can't live in the future. Right now, we can live right now. It's the only time that we can actually act within. So instead of like delaying or like putting everything off until this imaginary time in the future, we gotta live it now, brother. Yeah. Now is the only time that we can influence. If there's a change or something that we want to put into effect, the only time that you can actually act on that is right now. It's that whole idea of there is no tomorrow. Well, there is no tomorrow, okay? No tomorrow. You and your Rocky fucking references, brother. Yeah. Never watched it, but I still know there is no tomorrow, brother.
You still know it.
That's how it's transcended, brother. So like this kind of, the same idea of like, oh, I'll do this when. Like some imaginary point of the future. How this relates to myself is if I know there's something that I need to do, if I don't do it right now, like when the idea takes me, I know it's probably not getting done. Now, I know there is obviously exceptions to that, and you can obviously schedule your life, and I'll take care of that on Monday or whatever. But it's the things that you know you should do, but you don't really want to do, that you procrastinate them to a later point. If you're trying to procrastinate to a later point, homework, stuff like that. Oh, I'll do that later on tonight. Now is the only time that you can actually do that shit, okay? It's like, I'll start the diet on Monday. Now, Monday doesn't exist, okay? Monday is gonna be today. The way that you don't want to do it right now, that's the way you're not going to want to do it on Monday, okay? Like, Monday is now. Now is the only time that exists. You're going to feel the same fucking way on Monday. So if you need to do it right now. That's been something, shortcutting that time frame from when I know I need to do something to when I actually just do it. Like, procrastinating it and putting it off. The only time that I can actually do anything about it is right now, so I got to take action on it right now. That's something that has been a valuable lesson for me that I put into effect over the last year. Shortcutting that time frame. The more you can shortcut that, the more you can get done, and then you're propelling yourself forward, and then it gets easier to shortcut that going forward. You cut through that habit of procrastinating when you realize, okay, if I'm saying I'm going to do it at a later point because I don't really want to do it right now, the later point, I'm also not going to want to do it the way I don't want to do it right now. So I might as well just do it now. So yeah, that is a valuable one. The past doesn't exist. The future doesn't exist. Live now. Take action now. Do the shit you got to do now, because that's the only time that you can actually do it.
Don't worry about a problem that hasn't happened yet.
Oosh, come on now. Hell yeah.
Man, that's maybe what you've been saying. Come on now.
Yeah.
It is that, I think. The other day, Andrew and I were in his house brainstorming some work, and your girlfriend kindly offered to pick us up some pizza.
Yeah.
And Andrew's like, come on now. and I like arrived with the food. I was like, come on now. And I couldn't remember what it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, brother.
Yeah, so don't worry about problems that haven't happened yet either.
Yeah.
You know? But at the same time, the future's almost doesn't exist. So don't worry about problems that haven't happened yet, because they will likely not be as bad as you're preparing for. And if you spend all that time worrying about them, they will be bad or worse than what they ever were going to be.
Yeah.
But also don't cushion yourself with the future. Is you don't know what Monday's going to look like.
Oof.
So if you just, for no good reason other than now is a time you don't want to do this, and you expect the now on Monday to be better, the now could be worse on Monday.
Tell him, brother.
What if something comes up on Monday?
Yep. It always does.
What if you fucking leave your cat outside?
It always
on
does,
Monday,
brother.
and you can't fucking do that shit. So, and that is typically what happens as well. I don't know how often this happens to you, but every time I say, I will have time,
You don't have time.
for some reason I don't have time. It's like Monday happens to be the busiest day of all time.
Because you don't want to have time, bro.
Yeah, you don't want to have time.
Man, you look for things to take the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude,
When you had the time. Oh, sorry.
okay.
You had the time.
You had the time.
The
Do yourself a
time,
favor
brother.
and use your time.
Eat the frog.
Time's now. Eat the frog's fucking wild, man.
Man, look it up, right?
I'm not looking that shit
Pull
up.
it up. You're Jamie now. Pull it up, Jamie.
Someone like sucking on a frog.
Man, it's a book. It's in the wish list.
Yeah.
Man, I'm gonna read it and then I'm gonna be like, yo, bro, you have to get on eat the frog.
Eat some frogs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who's got it? You got some?
I can go. Is the next one on the same vein?
Nah. Well, maybe, probably. Fucking just go.
Oh, but mine are separate.
Okay, yeah, go.
Okay.
We'll jump around, brother.
This was a discussion on injuries and perhaps more so on the outlook and approach and optimism towards the healing of injuries or the dealing of pain experiences.
Yeah.
Injuries can heal so much better than you think they can. And if you think they won't, they won't.
I think therefore I am, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he.
Shakespeare right here. Shakespeare Blackwood. He's right though. And this sounds a bit wishy-washy, and growing up I didn't believe it because I didn't quite understand the psychological link to your neurology and your neurological link to your physiology. I didn't understand it. I don't even need to get into it. But the main thing is, when you believe that something can heal fast and well, you then behave in a way that is conducive to it healing at its most optimal, and you are happy. You don't dread the time. When like my adductor, I found everything that I can do. Again, I looked at what I did have and not what I didn't have. Not what I couldn't do, but what I could do. There was like 1% of training I couldn't do when I actually looked at it through that lens. I couldn't squat all the way down. Man.
It's a lot of stuff you can do, brother.
I can do everything else.
Yep.
And I can train in a way that sets this as a new goal. On top of the goals I already had, get back to squatting, regular loads, and PBs. Right now, my back, the other day, busted. For whatever reason, a buildup of stress and acute pain. We can't really plan for acute pain. It happened, right? I finished my session anyways, woke up the next day, oh, who the fuck stabbed me? Who the fuck ran me with a sledgehammer when I was asleep? I don't know. It was probably you. Yeah. And I don't know. What I do know is I went into my deadlift session and said, this back pain is going to go away as fast as it possibly will, while I just do everything in my power to do what I still can. I still managed to deadlift. I just did a little bit less overall. I still did my accessories, and I'm fine.
You are.
I am. So you can very much so get in the way of an injury healing as well by being pessimistic, by avoiding the things you need to do to get it better, like sleeping well, eating well, stressing less, and still moving. There's been times where with similar or less painful back pain, I've taken periods of time away from the lift itself. Then what did I do? When I went back to lifting, it was still the same. It was still actually pretty sore. And it was like a nerve-based pain. So there's nothing had snapped or broken. Maybe that's an important preface. If your femur's sticking out, maybe take advice from a medical professional to just get it back attached. And then from here on, you need to be optimistic about its healing, rather than being pessimistic or we're very good at convincing ourselves we're being realistic. No, I'm not being pessimistic, I'm being realistic. No, you're being pessimistic, bro.
Pessimistic.
It's either pessimism or optimism. And realism lands on that spectrum somewhere, sure. But you have to lean into the optimism for it to heal as fast as it possibly will. Even if it's going to be an injury that takes an extensive time to heal, like something structural like your femur breaking, there's still a range from best to worst, and you can push it into its
I was going to say, man, we've even seen stuff like that. I watched a like little docu-series, I can't remember if it was like multiple episodes or just like one thing, about an NFL player who like snapped his Achilles, and he's like, and he's like 40 or something. He's like, I'm going to have the fastest recovery that anyone has had from this, and I'm going to be back playing by the end of the season. And I can't remember how it actually played out, but he did, like, he was so far ahead of the recovery process because he took that attitude that I'm not just going to resign myself to defeat. Or there's other people, I can even think of powerlifters who like say like fully rupture something, like freaking detach a bicep from the bone, and taking that attitude can get themselves back when they were told you'll never play sports again, or you'll never whatever, you won't be able to get back to your previous best, and then they exceed that. Yep. But you have to take that attitude to be able to achieve it.
Whoever's watching this is getting an eyeful
of you. Like, I think there's even a Conor McGregor thing. Now, obviously, he's a fucking contentious fella, but he said something along the lines of like, you've got to feel some type of way, so why not feel like you're the best and you can achieve like the very top? So if you've got to feel some type of way, why not feel like I can have the best outcome? Instead of thinking, oh, what if it all goes wrong? Why not think, what if it all goes right? What if I am able to bounce back from this in fucking whatever amount of weeks? What if I am able to do everything right? What if everything does go okay? Taking that, yeah, I've got to feel some type of way, so why not feel like I'm the man? Why not feel like I can do this or bounce back? Yeah, I like that.
So do I. You're next.
Okay. I think I just wrote down communication, and then I have a few subtopics below that. But
what do you mean?
I don't, because we're gonna go into the Crucial Conversations book, so I don't want to
skim over.
Okay,
skim over.
Maybe I'll touch on some of this.
Skim over.
We'll go in a quarter of the way of the book.
Crazy.
Okay, maybe I won't touch on, because I typed out things from Crucial Conversations, but I was like, it deserves its own episode. Maybe some of the stuff from like how to win friends and influence people, and one of them is just taking a genuine interest in others. Listening. Okay, I had to Google this. Empathically or empathetically? They both work, I think. Okay. I think they're both actually words. Because I think you would say empathically. I would have heard you say it before.
I actually think I would have said empathetically. But both.
Yeah, are actually their words. Pay compliments to people. Make people feel good. Okay, this is one that is is something that's in my mind. It's like, try, like, when you have left an interaction with someone, try to make sure that they feel good. They feel happy having interacted with you. Whether that be, I don't know, just being positive. Just being like a good source of energy, happiness, all those kind of things. Talking about good stuff, not complaining, not moping, not, I don't know, just making people feel good when they're in your presence or when they've left your presence. And there's a quote, I can't remember what book this was from, but I screen recorded it, and it was, a bit of fragrance always clings to the hand that gives you roses. Think about that. So if you're being nice to other people, a bit of fragrance always clings to the hand that gives you roses. So you end up feeling good from being nice to other people. And it was in the same book. I think it might have been How to Stop Worrying and Start Living. But it was something along the lines of, like, if you see someone with their dog and you pay a compliment to the dog, the owner is then proud of the dog. They're like, my dog is so good. My dog is the best. And you feel good having made that person feel good about the dog. If you turn back around, you'll see the owner giving that dog a pat on the head. And they're like, I fucking love this dog. And you're like, see, a bit of fragrance always clings to the hand that gives you roses. So doing that, man, if I see someone with their dog, you know I'm complimenting the dog now. I would, like, anytime I'm going to the shop, if I see someone standing with their dog, it could be like the grouchiest looking old man. And I'd be like, oh, your dog is so cute. Yeah. And instantly their face will change. And they're like, thank you. And I'm like, you know what? I feel good about myself. You feel good about yourself. You feel good about the dog. The dog doesn't know what's going on, but you've got a pat, so now it feels good. Yeah.
Man, so fragrance training. Like the fragrance thing is real.
It is.
It's a phenomenon that you cannot. It's like smiling. It's like it's kind of difficult to smile all the time and not get a little bit of.
Yeah.
So the thing is though as well, you got to feel some kind of way.
Yeah.
So why make anybody feel negative, and when you can make people feel positive and enjoy that? Sorry, I kind of said nothing there, but
No?
yeah, I'm
said a
happy.
lot, brother.
I'm
Yeah,
happy.
you said a lot.
I'm happy. I really like take a genuine interest in people though. We can talk about that.
Yeah.
Really like that.
Dive in. Why do you like it?
Because when you do that, you actually enjoy conversating with everyone.
Yep.
Take a genuine interest. And it actually, you could challenge yourself. I've done this a lot. Is challenge yourself with someone whom you, on the surface, didn't think you had anything in common with, or didn't even want to talk to in the first place, or I'd go as far as you didn't like. Take a genuine interest in them. Try to imagine why they are the way they are, and try to see what is going on with their day, with their life. What do they have to tell you?
Try walk a mile in their shoes.
Try walk a mile in their shoes.
Try see things from their
Even
perspective
if
a
they
little bit.
stink.
Yeah.
Even if they got stinky shoes.
Yeah. Even if a bit of fragrance clings to them.
Take a genuine interest in people, and it makes your approach to the conversation so much better.
Yeah.
And it actually makes it, you actually enjoy every conversation then.
Yeah.
Because we've all been in a conversation where we're kind of hoping it speeds up a little bit. We've all been there. I'm not gonna, like, I know I sound like an asshole, but I'm speaking for everyone.
Yeah.
But if you actually instead take a genuine interest, you will be better because of it, and they will be better because
And you'll be surprised what you learn.
you will be surprised what you learn.
Yeah, you can learn something from everyone.
Man, and you also don't know, we often underestimate how good of a friend someone can be.
Yeah.
You do that a lot.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, you're an hour into a chat and you're like, damn,
We learned some shit.
I wasn't going to talk to anyone today. and we took a genuine interest in each other.
Yeah.
And maybe it also prompts them to take a genuine interest in you.
True. The law of reciprocity.
Yep.
Yeah, and that applies to the paying compliments. It goes around, you know.
Goes around.
You change the culture. That's something I've been joking about in the gym. I'm like, the culture is changing, baby. Every time I come in, I'm trying to give people confidence, trying to make people feel good about themselves. The culture is changing. We're building each other up. We're supporting each other. Do you know the way? Because it's very much a thing. Maybe particularly with guys, where with your friends you give them an awful amount of abuse and slagging and stuff like that, and it's all in good fun. Imagine if you were building up the boys. Imagine if you were supporting
Boys
the
would be
boys.
super proud.
Oh my God. Now, I'm like, again, obviously slagging and stuff is fine, like it's all in good fun. But if you don't support the boys at all, if you don't let the boys know that you're proud of them, imagine how that could be different. Imagine if you and the boys were building each other up.
Yep.
Instead of trying to point out each other's insecurities to make your own insecurities feel a little bit less.
Wow, that's a big one. Why do we point out other people's insecurities?
To make ours seem a little bit less. Yeah, bro. Imagine if your cup was so full that you could spread that love to other people. Huh? Instead of your cup being down here, so you're trying to take from everyone else's cup, so their cups are the same as yours, brother. Imagine if yours is so big that you can fill up other cups. Imagine you have so much love to give that you're filling up the cups of everyone in your community. As opposed to your cup is down here, so you're trying to drain the cups of everyone else so that you all feel on the same level. Fuck, I didn't even know I had that in me, man.
Incredible.
I didn't even know I had that in me. That, I've never even thought that before. That was live on the podcast. That was straight from the dome, man. That's probably my proudest little statement I've ever made.
Straight from the cup.
Man, that was straight from the cup. That was from the cup. That's probably the proudest little sentence I've ever said in my life. And I think, to be honest, we could cut the podcast off right there. Man, if I never say anything else for the rest of my life, put that on my tombstone. Wow.
Man.
I almost just want to sit in that for a sec.
You can sit on it, man.
Can't even remember what I said. It was so good.
I felt it. You felt it.
Yeah.
You have to remember the exact word for word you felt it. Man, someone asked me recently, is there anything that triggers me? Kind of pisses me off. Puts me on the bad side of the bed when I wake up.
Yeah.
Right. Is there anything that just gets to me?
Rubs you up the wrong way.
Questionably, can you be rubbed up the wrong way? If you're being rubbed up, anyway. If you're being rubbed up, you're being rubbed up. Don't be picky, okay? But
beggars can't be choosers. Take what you can get.
Beggars. Okay. Someone asked me this because I reflected on the fact that when I was younger, I of course had far more insecurities, as we all have experienced, and I noticed that any of the insecurities that I used to remember being like poignant in my life are gone. I feel secure. I feel impermeable to a lot of things. And I couldn't remember the last time someone actually pissed me off. You know what pisses me off?
Wow.
When people try to hurt other people. When people try to bring other people down.
Yeah.
It's like seldom someone actually deserves being brought down. And even in that case, that's questionable. Because even then, I'm trying to think, even if someone's being an asshole, something made them be an asshole. Chances are they've experienced being on the other end of the stick with a fucking big swing, right? So even then, I'm feeling for them deep down. But no one deserves to just be picked apart and hurt. Okay? That like insecurity point, that pisses me off. When I see or feel that someone's being made feel worse or feel like they're not deserving of love or happiness, oh my God. It gets right in here. When I'm watching like a TV show or a movie even, man, that's when the tears start.
Yeah.
When there's someone that could just do with a little support, and instead they're being pushed down. Instead of being lifted up, they're being pushed down. Man.
You've made me think of a situation that has just come to mind. I'm like, and I had like I feel it in my chest. So I'm like,
It actually, that's the only thing. And the reason I'm saying what triggers me is that I could see that having the potential to piss me off beyond, like into emotion rather than being purely rational. Whereas everything else I'm able to withstand and kind of take, like if someone's trying to insult me, there's nothing that they can there's no crack that they can, there's no crack in my defense that they can get through.
Yeah.
But something they could get to tip me off a little bit is hurting someone else for no good reason, man.
Yeah.
There's never a good reason.
Yeah, I like that.
So
I like that. I'd co-sign that for sure.
So yeah, fill your cup. Fill your cup, man.
Yeah.
And also, if you notice someone else's cup isn't full,
fill it up.
think about it. Yeah. Pause. If someone has, and we'll get to crucial conversations, but if someone is in that kind of violent state, try bring them back to a point of feeling safe. Like if someone's being an asshole, like see if you can bring them down.
Yeah.
As in not down personally. Yeah. See if you can bring them, calm them
back
down.
to
see if you can bring them down to, because
like,
no one is at baseline. An asshole, they're on the defense. They're a cat with claws, and their claws are out.
Yeah.
See if you can.
The adrenaline is running.
Their adrenaline's running. Their defense is up.
Yeah.
See if you can.
Help them bring it back down. Bring them to level-headed. Hear them out. And do you know the way you bring them back down?
Genuine interest.
Yeah. Hear them out. Listen to them.
Yeah.
Don't try to tell them like they're right or wrong. Just listen to them. Validate them a little bit. Hear what they're saying. Yeah. Most people generally have a point. They really have something going on. Listen before you go on your offensive. Listen. Just take it in.
Yeah.
And don't just listen with the intent to then fire back.
Yeah.
Listen to digest, to understand. And then you can.
Oh man, good conversations.
Come on, man.
As we're talking,
man,
him and I were texting each other, and we were like sending kind of the main points. We were like, "Do I need to listen to it again?" No, I'm like remembering it all.
That episode is going to be banger. Because banger on banger on
often
banger.
we listen to Sully's hair. Often we listen to fire back.
Yeah,
man.
Yeah.
Pause your point so you can take theirs in and bookmark it if you need to. Yeah, we'll get to the bookmarks.
Come on.
Yeah, come on now.
Come on.
Come on. Now. Yes, come on now. Okay.
You're up, are you?
Okay. This one is actually maybe in tandem. You can have an impact on people unbeknownst to you. So always behave in a way you'd be happy with.
Ooh, beautiful.
You don't know who you're having an impact on. Sometimes you do. Sometimes you are in an environment where you're very good at discerning who you're having more of an impact on. But I would even go as far as saying you're having an impact on everyone to a degree, and then some just more than others. There's the obvious kind of when you're in a community setting where there are people younger or less experienced than you, and you have something to offer them. Yeah. Of course, by nature, you are going to be looking at that individual with more experience and be kind of taking in, you're picking up what they're putting down.
Yeah.
Okay? Yeah. And when you don't consider what you're putting down, people are still picking it up.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
So this can go shallow. This can go, if you're having a bad day, you're still affecting everyone around you. So a smile, again, taking genuine interest in people. But then this is something we've noticed this year, and it was particularly kind of relevant to our 2024 notes, that's why I wrote it down, is more and more this year, we've had a lot of younger lifters pointing out to us via social media or in person that they consume what we put out there, they love the podcast, they listen to what we're saying. Man, if we are having any semblance of impact on how these young people are feeling, or feeling about themselves, or living their lives and treating other people, oh my God, God forbid I led them to feeling worse about themselves or making other people feel worse.
Yeah.
So that's quite a niche situation that I'm talking about. Everybody has someone in their life, even if it's one individual, even if it's one singular person who you barely even see, you could be making a huge impact on their life. Maybe they know it or maybe they don't, but the impact you're having could be massive. So with that in consideration, not only should you be behaving in a way that is healthy for you and conducive to you living the happiest life, but the fact that you can affect other people's lives just by living a happier life, then it's tenfold. It actually extends tenfold. If you still, after what we're saying here, say, I don't care about myself, I don't care about living a good life, care about everybody else that you're impacting, man.
Come on. Man, that was some wisdom. I like that a lot. I like that a lot. And that is a great point because particularly through the podcast, there's been a lot of experiences where there's people who are listening who come up to us who I would not have thought at all would be listening or consuming the podcast. And then they're saying the value that they were able to extract from it. That's incredible. So people are listening, people are watching. And like as you mentioned, say, like particularly with like younger people who are still developing, you can have a very significant impact on their worldview, how they interact with the world, how they look at themselves, how they look at other people. So yeah, trying to have that effect. And this is a big one I like for myself is be the change that you want to see.
Perfect.
That's
perfect.
That's a big one that I would try to live by is, I would say the number one way that you could perhaps like influence someone else or try to get someone else to behave in a specific way is to lead from the front, is to be that change that you would like them to see. And people will see that, respect that, and go, maybe I could be a little bit more like that, a little bit more compassionate, a little bit more loving and whatnot. Be the change you want to see, brother. Treat people with kindness, treat yourself with kindness, and good things will come. Yeah.
I really like that one.
Yeah. Man, this is...
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Can you think of when you were younger, direct influences that you can actually recall in your mind that had an impact on you?
Yeah.
Never mind the amount of kind of environmental and social information we're consuming and considering without our conscious awareness. That's something that is very difficult, and you'd almost have to write down everyone you've ever interacted with and try to break it down. But here, there's direct influences. Teachers, maybe older relations, older friends, brothers, siblings, everything.
I can think of a situation right now where I had a lunch with someone and I left it and I was like, oh my God, I would love to be more like that person. I would love to have the energy or the presence of the aura, having left the interaction, I left with such like a positive, happy feeling. I was like, I would love to be as compassionate and kind-hearted as that person. If I could be even a little bit more like that person, I think I'd be well on my way. And if you can have that effect on other people, come on, lead from the front.
Lead from the front.
Be the change you want to see.
You're up.
Okay, this one is okay. So it's a twofer. This is about technology.
Twofer.
Yeah. Have you ever heard of it?
No.
Maybe I made it up.
I like it.
Okay, about technology and the technology we use in 2024. We kind of talked about one of them in the last episode. I just didn't tick it, which is Audible, and how there's such a vast amount of information out there. And then there was one thing that I wanted to bring up. I sent you, okay, this is probably the end of the brain rot that I was consuming, but I sent you a meme and I vividly remember it. And it was, I gotta learn about more shit so I can make more jokes. That was the meme. And we were like, that's actually just true. That's just true.
Yeah.
Damn. From that, I was like, yeah, that's the books. Like, you're just learning about more shit so you can talk about more shit. And that is a big idea. I would have actually, and this is something I can remember so vividly, when I was growing up, I would not have considered myself a creative person at all. For some reason, I was like, I don't have creative thoughts. You see some people coming up with crazy shit. And in particular, as it relates to, I think I must have been like 10 years old. And I was like, how the hell do people come up with businesses? I was like, how do you just come up with a business?
Yeah, product.
Yeah, how do you come up with a business idea? And it was mainly products. I'd look around and I'd see something. And I'm like, I don't know.
How did you think of that?
Yeah, how did you come up with those little jars? Someone made that and they came up with that. Who's coming up with the little jars? And then you'd see something else, like the Scrub Daddy sponges.
Yeah.
Who's coming up with that?
Yeah, who came up with Scrub Daddy?
Man, I'd get pissed. I'd be like, how come I can't come up with those? And I'm like 10 years old and I'm like, why can't I come up with those?
And you're trying to, on the spot, you're coming up with like fucking fluffy toilet seat.
Man, I can remember that so vividly. I'm like, why can't I come up with stuff? Everyone else can come up with stuff. Why can't I? And I was like, how the hell do you come up with a business? And then I realized as I got older, like I have a business now. I've made my own business. It's just through living.
Yep.
You experience some stuff. You travel. You see other ideas. This is one thing that I have tried to implement quite a bit into my own powerlifting coaching is taking from other industries, so to speak.
Yep.
Like other fields of strength and conditioning, bodybuilding, and try take from them and see what you can apply from that to the world of powerlifting. I think that's how a lot of like innovations can happen and things get pushed forward is just like adopting ideas from other fields. Now, obviously, as you do that and you see more opportunities, you get more creative. More doors have presented themselves of things that you could pursue.
Your toolbox is bigger.
Exactly. So just consuming more information. Man, no one gives a shit if you've seen 100 reels of car crashes or 100 brain rot ideas. It's gonna be like, man, do you remember that one reel where the Skoda Fabia like came across the truck?
The dog's wearing the shoes and he was like lifting his legs up.
Like, how about you just take that same time and just consume some productive stuff? Manually control the inputs. That's a big idea that I've had this year.
I like that.
Is control the inputs.
Yep.
Control what you're putting in there. And
Putting it come on now.
Yeah, man. Control what you're consuming, like, and that has such a big impact. Not consuming shit. If you want to try,
if you clipped what you just said there, you actually didn't say anything.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. Just control the inputs, brother.
Yeah.
And then the other one was ChatGPT. That is a banger. I remember when that, like, I was gonna say first came out, first heard of it.
Yeah.
I'd say there was only probably like a couple of months where it was a thing and I hadn't been using it.
Yeah.
But I was like, I need to start using this right now because if I don't, the world's gonna move fast and it's gonna get ahead of me. And this is the future. I need to be competent with this. Like here when social media comes around and people are late to the party, I was like, I don't want to be late to the party on this. And it seemed like this crazy thing. I would say I use ChatGPT every day.
Man.
I'd say every day. It is insane.
You said you were practicing flirting on it.
That's crazy. That's crazy. That's insane. Come on. Man, okay, one thing I worry about is, I don't know if people know you enough to be able to decipher some of the shit that you say. It's not true, I swear.
So, I was interested in what you had to say on ChatGPT. We had a discussion that is irrelevant for now regarding some other process involving ChatGPT.
Oh, yeah.
But Andrew, because again, I have tried to develop a stance on things when I'm arguing or discussing something that I can still be very much so wrong or right and adopt huge loads of information as opposed to,
Yeah, you love taking on huge loads.
Yeah, he had to get his turn, But
yeah, man, I get my turn to take huge loads.
Crazy. Didn't take long. But ideally in a discussion, even if you believe you're right, you could still learn a lot. And so, anyway, Andrew and I were discussing ChatGPT, and amidst the conversation, you said that, and it stuck with me. It was like, regardless, this is a new technology, and we're now living, the time is now. Like, it feels like, oh, sure, it's just this. But no, it is a huge thing, as with every step technology has taken, that we've just so happened to be submersed in, so we absorbed it anyway, we learned how to use them just by default. But now we're at an age where we can be stuck in our ways, we can let things pass us. And ChatGPT is just one of those things that...
Yeah, it's only the tip of the iceberg, I think.
It is just the tip of the iceberg. And if you refuse to kind of adopt technologies like that, 10 years time, you're refusing a whole area of the world. 20 years time, you're living a life that is now separate.
Yeah.
That is now separate to what most people do. So
yeah,
it was very interesting.
So yeah, like you can learn it. The way I look at it, like I imagine when the internet came out and people were like, you could just look up stuff. Man, I'm not Googling anything anymore. You Google something, you have to look through like 20
Reddit,
of the tabs to try find a forum that you maybe can find what you want, or try find
From like 2005.
Yeah, and try find a YouTube video, and then it's 20 minutes long, and you just need like a 30-second snippet of it, and you have to try sift through to find the one bit of information that you need. You can have like full-blown conversations with this supercomputer mastermind that knows everything in the world. You can learn whatever you want. One of the things I love to do, like sometimes I'll be listening to a podcast and they'll touch on a topic or a theme, and I'll just ask ChatGPT, write me like a comprehensive blog on this topic. And I will just, it's like getting an extra podcast. It's like getting extra information that is out there that I can then think on or digest. Or another one is, particularly a lot with the podcast, I will, like setting up new technologies, I need to figure out how to work the camera, how to go through the settings. I just ask it to, like a conversation, can you explain this? It's like the smartest friend in the world. It's like having like in Star Wars, like a little robot friend who can just give you all the answers to whatever you need.
For Tony Stark?
Yeah, literally. Yeah. Crazy. And one of the like prompts I love is explain this to me as if I'm an idiot. Oh, and it's so simplified.
You would love that one.
Yeah, complex topics, explain to me like I'm an idiot. And then boom, it's so broken down. One of the things I heard is, I think it's from Elon Musk, that he has a philosophy of like a tree of learning. So to try first, like at the very basics of a topic, like the trunk, and then from the trunk you have the branches, and then from the branches you have all the different leaves. So you can use that as a prompt, like using the like the tree of learning philosophy. Explain this topic to me and don't proceed until I say like, yes, I understand it. So explain like the trunk of the information. And then from that, you can hang on all the extra bits of information. So it gives you this like seamless flow chart of understanding of everything that you would need to know for the topic. You can learn whatever it is that you want just by asking the supercomputer. You have everything you could possibly ever need to know at your fingertips. So how about you use that instead of watching fucking cat videos and stuff? Like, man, isn't it crazy that it used to be cat videos on the internet people would watch? Like epic fails.
It kind of still is cat videos. Like,
okay, fair.
Cats and dogs somehow still prevail all this time.
Man, Fail Army on YouTube, do you ever see that videos? Yeah, a compilation of 2012's most epic fails. Like, that used to be what people were watching.
Like falling off.
And now it is literally just endless stream of insanity. Man, I wonder if you could ever get to the end of the content.
As in you reach the end. Your eyes are like red.
Man, but don't they have like an infinity scroll? Like there is no end.
Yeah.
There is no end that you can get to. There's no limit to the amount of brain rot that is out there.
Yeah.
Did you see they're getting rid of TikTok?
No.
In America.
Bullshit.
June 18th, gone.
Bullshit.
Man, look it up.
Bet you'll still be there.
June 18th, it's gone.
Jamie, pull that up.
Look it up. Look it up yourself. June 18th, TikTok gone from America. I don't know who decided that it was going, but they have to pull out. Is it showing up? Ask ChatGPT.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, see, I'm telling you. He's looking it up, so I'll just keep talking to fill the silence.
It's going to be blocked from their telecom networks.
It's blocked.
Apple and Google are like
taking
banned
it
by
off.
law.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
It's gone, brother. I wonder how that will have an effect. I'd say there has to be a new app that's going to come up.
Or Instagram's getting hit next.
Fair. But I think TikTok was... Do you know what, actually? This is another thought that I had. Last night I couldn't sleep when I was just pondering the thoughts of the universe. Instagram has basically become TikTok. Like, say the content that I would put out on Instagram. It used to be the case that you would have like informative stuff going out on Instagram.
Yeah.
There would be carousel posts of people putting out nutrition information or like information, educational stuff on Instagram in general. It's done. It's done. No one's in the headspace on that platform to consume educational stuff anymore.
That's a good point.
The headspace that you're on when you're on Instagram is not. Like if the 50 previous posts were like absolute nonsense and then you get an educational one, you're not in the headspace to consume the educational stuff.
That's a very good point.
You're gone. So I think YouTube is, now that we have the camera, I think I'm going heavy on the YouTube. I think that's 2025 is going to be the year of the tubes.
Yeah.
And I think Instagram is just going to be stupid skits and stuff because, again, people just aren't in the headspace for informative stuff on Instagram. It's gone the TikTok direction, in my opinion. And all of the things that I've seen, educational stuff flops on Instagram.
It does flop.
Yeah. So like lifestyle and funny stuff. I think that's all that Instagram is at the moment.
You heard it here first, folks.
Yeah.
Follow 200 Barbell.
Yep.
For more informative
shit. This is just long form brain rot. Like
damn.
all right. Do you have them? Okay, I have a quick one. Huggies.
Huggies.
Yeah. That's
Give people hugs?
No.
No?
Like
Nappies?
No, like the bum wipes. Remember Nate's video? Nate with the Huggies, like.
Yeah.
Yeah, wet wipes. That's a life hack. If you know, you know.
Do you want to go into it or?
Okay, one of my favorite jokes is, oh, this place is so fancy. They have the toilet paper that turns red when you're finished. So anyway.
Well, how come it was red when I started?
But wet wipes, that's a life hack of 2024. Really? Yeah. If you're eating 5,500 calories a day.
There you go.
Yeah. What did Nate say? He's like, if you're a veteran, you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like gym bag essentials.
Yeah.
Are we on quick fires?
No. If you have more big topics, go. That was just a quick fire that I had in the middle that I thought was funny.
They can be quick fire. They can be shorter. They're both the same thing. Sometimes I'm just saying shit, man. Like sometimes the other day, Andrew was like, oh, I don't know, like I don't see it, and I like started spouting off how we would sell this thing. It's like 2 minutes, and I said like nothing, and Andrew was like, Tom, I'm gonna buy it. Yeah.
Oh, the waffler.
Yeah.
I gave him the raw potatoes, man, and he made waffles
Gave
out
me
of it,
the
man.
raw spuds, boy.
He was waffling.
I wonder, would most of our audience see waffles as being potato based or as being like pancake batter based?
Don't know.
Like America, waffles
Yeah,
are
yeah.
like pancakes,
Yeah, that's fair.
whereas in Ireland they're potato waffles.
Yeah.
The
Don't know.
Americans are probably what the fuck.
Yeah.
Anyway, what's for you won't pass you.
Oof. Big one.
It's a bit broad. And It's a
Yeah.
bit wishy washy. It's a bit airy fairy.
I like it.
Main thing is, you do your best. If it's for you, it will happen.
Yeah.
If it's not, it won't.
Yeah.
And as long as you're doing your best and you're firing on all cylinders in the things that matter to you, then if you are hoping something will happen or aiming in a direction, if it's for you, it won't happen. If it's for you, it will happen. If it's not for you, it won't happen.
Yeah.
And if that doesn't happen and you're still doing your best, what's for you will happen.
I
So
like
what,
that.
you know,
I saw a thing from Durance where it was about like he's saying like
Push.
push, yeah.
Yeah.
The P is for push until something happens. PUSH.
that's good.
And he was like, if I'm trying and I'm not getting somewhere, I'm not seeing the return that I want, I still have 3 more letters to go through. And you just persevere, and eventually something will happen.
Something.
And whatever is for you won't pass you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's good. I think that ties into the broader topic that we have as well of detaching from the outcomes a little bit and just accepting that what does come your way is what you deserved and whatnot. Yeah, I like that. I have another one here. Language matters. Oof. So
Tell me more.
the words you say matter. The way you speak matters. It shapes your worldview. Be mindful and intentional with what you say, particularly to yourself. I think it ties into a lot of the stuff that we have been talking about. I think therefore I am, as a man thinketh in his heart, so he becomes, or whatever the fucking other saying was. Yeah, I think language is really important. I had this thought. Okay, this one's woo-woo. I was like, damn. I have ideas, but I don't even have the words to convey the idea that I have. That's a crazy thought.
That is.
That we only know how to convey information or put information out through the filter of words, of language.
Man,
That's,
I'll give you one more.
yeah.
Give you one better. There's theories that posit that our ability to imagine something altogether is bound by our language restraints. Like you cannot even imagine something without having the language to describe it.
Yeah.
There's a great study, must be like 20 or 30 years old, but it took a like very Eastern culture, maybe some country in Asia, and it was like a Western researcher, and they laid out like the colors that we use. I think it was like from pink to blue, and this group, this like cohort or sample from whatever country it was, were saying there was a color between the two colors on the spectrum, but to us it wasn't.
Yeah.
It's pink and blue.
Yeah.
Whereas to them there was a color in
a
between.
distinct middle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A distinct separate color between them that is not even there for us. Like if you put up the boundaries that they did, we don't see it. It's like it still just blends in from pink to blue, but there's a color for them. And that maybe less language based, more so learning based. Like we have learned that, and so that is what we actually see.
Yeah.
It's not only what we believe, it's what we see. It's that is reality for us, but that's reality for them because they learned something different.
Had something similar happen recently where I was talking to a guy from Venezuela, and he said something. He was like, "Oh, it's this word, but you don't actually have a word for that in English." But then he said like this verb and what it means, and I was like, "That's crazy. There's people out here using words that we don't have words for. How the hell are we behind? We don't even have a word for that." But yeah, the language that you use matters. The words that you say matter. Be mindful of the words that you're saying, and again, particularly to yourself. I think I don't fully know my thoughts, but I believe that I am fairly solid in the opinion that you can shape your mindset by what you consciously make yourself think about. I think you can change your like subconscious beliefs by consciously thinking certain thoughts, and that will become your default, so to speak. I think you can fake it till you make it almost, and force yourself to start thinking a certain way and change the worldview that you have, change the view that you have of yourself. And again, why would I think thoughts that are going to be harmful for me when I could think thoughts that are going to be beneficial for me? Taking a bit of control, taking a bit of initiative, having a bit of intent with the things that I'm thinking. Again, those words matter. If you are constantly going through cycles of like negative self-talk, if you can find a way to try break that cycle a little bit, be very careful about the words that you're using to yourself, the way you're talking to yourself, the way you're talking to other people. I think language matters a lot. I think being mindful of the words that you use, especially talking to yourself, is quite important.
Huge. You are what you think, and you are what you say.
Yeah.
Big time. And you are your behaviors as well.
Yeah.
That's something. People are very easy to say, oh, it's just once, or I just do this every now and again. Then all of a sudden, you smoke.
Yeah.
Like people that say smoke socially, you smoke.
Yeah.
It's like you only do it every now and again.
Drinks.
Yeah, you drink. Yeah. Or I'm sure there's a bunch of examples here. Or like that. It's just that I'm being mean to him, but it's just like he's an asshole.
He deserved it.
You're mean.
Yeah.
Yeah. But definitely your behaviors and what you say, it's a bi-directional relationship.
Yeah, I like that. There's another one here. Maybe this ties on. Can't remember exactly where I heard it, but I was like, those numbers stick out in my mind. I don't know if they're absolutely true, but is what I heard. It was something about, they did a survey, they conducted this study, that we have something along the lines of like 60,000 thoughts a day. And in general, 80% of those tend to be negative for most people.
Oh, okay. Wow. I saw something about how many times people thinking about fucking...
About what?
Fucking... It's a lot.
No, 80% of those thoughts tend to be negative, and then something like 90% of those negative thoughts are repetitive negative thoughts. So if, again, you can break that cycle
break the root?
Yeah,
perhaps?
like make the predominant voice one that is compassionate, one that is loving. So you're not having 80% of those negative thoughts about yourself.
What does compassionate mean to you?
Understanding, loving, by... Yeah, just I think understanding and loving, forgiving, perhaps. Yeah, that's a great question, actually.
That's a good description.
Forgiving, understanding, loving. I would say they comprise the main sentiments that I would associate with it.
And it's perhaps like an unconditional.
Yeah, that's another thought that I've had as well about unconditional love and then like conditional love. And I don't have enough of a thought on it to like spitball on it, but yeah, trying to have more of unconditional love towards everyone, I would say.
Perhaps it's non-judgmental.
Oh, that was a good one. Yeah, I said that to you the other day. I said I think one of the best traits or characteristics someone could have would be being non-judgmental. All of my favorite people in the world are like non-judgmental people. You feel as though you can be vulnerable with them. You feel as though you can be open with them and they won't judge you. And the people that I like to spend the least amount of time with are the people who are very judgmental. You feel as though you can't be yourself. You feel as though you can't be vulnerable. And maybe it's not even yourself. You just feel as though there's a lot of judgment going towards other people, which is also something that I just don't like surrounding myself with. I don't like surrounding myself by that attitude or energy or mentality. Yeah, I think being non-judgmental, being understanding, being forgiving is probably one of the best traits or characteristics that someone could exhibit. And I know they're my favorite people to spend time with anyway. And I can think of a few. You would absolutely be one of them. Yeah, I think that is definitely one of the best traits. I have another one here that is still on the same topic about accepting compliments. And we've grown up thinking that if we were to talk positively and confidently about ourselves, it's arrogant, vain, or boastful. So we embrace self-deprecation and put ourselves down to be more likable. I think that's very harmful, and I think it is true. If you were to be like that line between like confidence and arrogance, and maybe sometimes it gets blurred depending on other people's perceptions. If someone is, their cup is half full and they see someone who is confident in themselves, if you perhaps are insecure and not confident in yourself, that is perceived as arrogant, or you would love to bring that person down to the level of the cup that you have. But accepting compliments. If someone has said something nice about you, don't try poo-poo it straight away and, oh no, like I would have been guilty of that for sure. And still I find it uncomfortable sometimes. But sitting in it, man, if someone gives you a compliment, don't poo-poo it, okay? They're doing something nice for you, okay? They're trying to give you a gift. Don't turn away that gift. Accept the gift. Say thank you. Just say thank you. Those two beautiful magic words. Just say thank you and let it sit. Don't try, shut it away. You're not like, it's not going to help you. It's not going to help you by trying to push away compliments. Accept it. Let in the love. If you can't let in the love, well, come on. What are we doing here? You got to let in the love. And you got to be able to love yourself to be able to let in the love. So you got to give yourself some compliments first so that then you're receptive to when other people can give you them.
Fill your cup.
Yeah. So be open to compliments. You don't need to be self-deprecating. I remember that was one from Lissus that I heard. She was like, I could never talk bad about myself. She's like, I couldn't do it. As if I could be self-deprecating. As if I'm going to beat myself down. No way.
Yeah.
And that, like, it's a very common thing, like that self-deprecating humor to make fun of yourself and to bring yourself down. And I was going to say it's all well and good, but it's not really.
It's not.
I don't get on board with that, you know? I don't think it's a good, and I think it's probably covering up for something that is probably a little bit deeper down that could deal with some love.
Like, look, self-deprecation jokes, when they're funny, like you're pointing out an objective, like, oh, you missed your last pull and you're after competition. A few jokes about that's fine. Not about the kind of person you are, but about the fact that you just dropped a barbell, a heavy barbell. It doesn't matter. You know, you're not actually picking at yourself. You're not picking at your identity, your self-image, your who you are in your head. You're not bringing them down. But when you do, like we're saying, you are what you say, and you are what you say about yourself. And life's hard enough as is. You don't need yourself. Be on your own team.
Come on. You're with yourself. If you're having 60,000 thoughts a day, do you really want 60,000 thoughts that are beating you down, brother?
Jesus.
You're cooked. You're done.
They're like, hit back. You're like,
you don't stand a chance. And another thought I've had is, like, how would you talk to like your closest friend? How would you talk to your closest friend? Are you going to be telling them they're so shit and they're so bad and they have so many failures and shortcomings and everything like that?
Whispering sweet love and sweet
exactly. You're going to try building them up and try giving them. You're in your own head. How are you going to be nice to someone else and not nice to yourself? You need to be that kindest friend to yourself. You need to start changing that self-talk. You need to start being compassionate, trying to build yourself up, being your own biggest cheerleader. If you're not going to be your own biggest cheerleader, who is? Your mum? Come on, it's probably your mum.
Come on now.
Your mum is the best.
Come on now.
Come on, your mum is the biggest cheerleader. But come on, you got to be even bigger than your mum as a cheerleader in your head. You can't be your own biggest hater. Like, there's plenty of them to go around, okay? There's enough of them out in the world. You got to be your own biggest cheerleader.
Man, I really hope people are hearing this. Like, really hearing it.
Because I feel like sometimes, you know, it can sound like a little bit superficial.
But
I mean this from like the pit of my stomach, like from my heart.
You, the listener, the viewer, you deserve to love yourself. You do not deserve to take yourself down. You actually deserve to build yourself up and be compassionate towards yourself. Be compassionate. We're not just saying it or throwing it away. Build yourself up. You're doing your best.
Yeah, I love it. I love it.
How much time we have, Jamie?
Maybe 25 minutes.
I'm in 16 minutes, bro.
Do you have another?
As in, I'm actually in 15 minutes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, brother, part 3.
Yeah, man.
We did part 3.
Man, it's like those videos, rain art videos,
Yeah.
and it's like, you know, I hope we can do this again sometime.
Yeah.
It's like we're married. It's like, yeah, bro, we can do part 3. We can do part 27.
Yeah,
bro. That's okay.
Okay, I'm working fucking 15 minutes. Come on.
Yeah, not a come on now.
Yeah, come on now. Yeah, no, it's a bad.
It's a
come
bad
on now.
come on now.
Come on now.
All right, any quick fire ones? We can go 5-6 minutes.
Okay, I like this one. Everything that needs to be said has already been said, but since nobody was listening, it needs to be said again.
Tell me again. No, but for real, explain it.
Okay, everything that needs to be said has already been said, but since not everybody was listening, it needs to be said again. So I think that applies a lot for this podcast. Man, literally all of the information in the world is out there.
Yep.
Everything that you could possibly need to know is out there.
Yeah.
But not everybody was listening, so it keeps needing to be said. Like this, because there were times we've had conversations of like, oh, I don't know, are we repeating ourselves? Are we saying the same thing? Man, repeat yourself, because there's new people coming in.
Yep.
Maybe you need to hear the same thing again.
Yep.
There was another one. It's like you don't need more information or new answers. The answers to the questions that you have, you probably learned 5 years ago. Or there's another concept of like the spiral nature of learning, that it's not like a linear amount of just learning new information. It's revisiting the same themes and the same topics with a deeper level of understanding. So say as you have more lived experience, your like understanding of the concept of love, just because we've been talking about that a little bit, is going to be much deeper than when you're 5 years old and you're like, I love dinosaurs. Yeah. Now you're 23, but you have a deeper love of dinosaurs.
Yes,
you have more experiences. So yeah, the spiral nature of learning, that you just come back to things, the same topics over and over with a deeper level of understanding. Yeah, repeating the same themes. One of the things that I had talked about when we first kicked around that idea of like, are we repeating ourselves, is the Jocko podcast, which I would have listened to a lot. And he would do like Q&As every other episode, or maybe even every episode. And it was the same answer that he was basically given every time. And I must have listened to like 300 of those episodes, but it's just different scenarios that you're applying the same concepts to. And it's the same stuff over and over again. You don't need to learn new lessons. You need to relearn your old ones.
I like that.
Yeah, that's one that I've come back to a lot. A lot of stuff with training, where it's just like remembering like the cues that I was using at a given time, or like refocusing on all of the previous habits that I had been doing before. It's not as though I need to learn new habits. It's just I need to relearn the old ones and put them into effect again. So yeah, that's one that I like. Is there any other like super quick ones?
Yeah, check.
Nah, that'll do. This is good. Do you have many?
I have 3 quickfire ones.
Okay, bang them out.
Read more books.
Yeah, big one.
Read doesn't have to be physically reading, you can listen. Only a number of episodes ago, I was saying how I don't consume any books. Now I'm consuming books, and I feel great. And it's very enjoyable, it's fun, rewarding, fulfilling, satisfying. You learn. Obviously, you can choose different kinds of books, but damn. And if you want book recommendations, ask me as well now that I have them, but also hand it back on myself. And consequently, spend less time on your phone.
Big.
Yeah, it's very doable. Very doable. We talk constantly now about the brain rot. It's okay to pop on your phone, but just spend less time on your phone, man. You've other things to be doing, and you've other things that will make you happier.
Yeah, it will make you happier. It will make you feel more fulfilled.
Do the things you want to do, because guarantee you're not dying to go on your phone. Or you're not really dying to go on your phone. You're dying to do nothing.
Yeah, to have an escape from...
Yeah, and your phone gives you this feeling of, oh, but I'm active, but it's not. And watch Suits on Netflix if you're looking for anything to watch.
Crazy. Come on.
Come on now.
Come on now. Okay, sweet. Yeah, to be honest, I'd say the ones that I have... I actually think I only have one left, to be honest. Okay, I'll try buying it real quick.
Oh, yeah.
It's the concept of worry as a performance enhancer. So I would have had this quite a lot in the initial years of like powerlifting, that I need to stress out in the lead up to this competition to perform at my best. I need to be like super anxious the days leading up in order for me to like get the best result. And then if I had like a shortcoming, it's because I didn't like stress and do enough work in the lead up. And then if I had a good outcome, it was like reaffirming that the stress was good and it led to like that performance enhancement. And I need to seek that like every single time. I need to feel as though like I'm on the edge to be able to perform at the highest level. Okay, crazy. How you even interpreted that like that? So this idea that I need to be like stressed out, I need to be worried in order to perform at a high level. And then somewhere along the line, I realized, no, I don't. I can just have fun. I can have fun and go still perform at a high level. I don't need to be, like I would be in the gym, like broody and moody and like miserable with my headphones on and can't talk to anyone. And then I'd see people like laughing and as they're going out to lift. And I'm like, this guy, he's not locked in. He doesn't know what he's doing, man. And then I realized, oh, like I'm not going to lift any better weights if I'm just miserable, like in the lead up to the session and not having fun. I can laugh and I'll still be able to execute the same. And if anything, I'll probably have more fun throughout the process. I'll have more fun on the day itself and better outcomes all around. So yeah, just that idea of like worrying and stressing out being something that is beneficial performance or like needed for performance. I would have experienced that a lot. Don't think that's true anymore. I think you can absolutely enjoy the process. That's something that like Chris Bumstead talked about, where for like whatever the extra Olympia that he stayed on to do, he was like, I just want to soak it all in. He's like, because before I would have numbed everything out, so I couldn't feel anything because I thought that's what I needed to do to get through it. I wouldn't feel the good, I wouldn't feel the bad. Whereas just feel it, take it all in, have a bit of fun. You don't need to be super stressed out. You don't need to. That doesn't lead to any better outcomes. Just have a good time.
I really like that. It also maybe bolsters you against negative outcomes.
Yeah.
Negative objective outcomes, like say you fail a few lifts on meet day, or you fail a few lifts in the gym, or it doesn't go your way, or it's 20 kilos less than you wanted, or whatever it is. When you are already moody, and then it doesn't go your way, now what? Whereas if you're laughing, smiling, butterflies, fucking sunshine, flowers, rainbows, and then a lift doesn't go your way, it's like, oh well, life. These rainbows are still here. Yeah, they're still there. They're already in there. Whereas
I didn't need the outcome in order to be happy. I have everything that I need to make me happy already.
That moody mood is outcome focused.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. All right. That was a good one.
That was a good one.
It's perfect.
It was really good.
We've so many more ideas for podcasts. We're going to do these every week. Someone messaged me and they're like, there's so many podcasts coming out. This is amazing. I'm like, hell yeah. You better strap in.
Come on now. Strap in.
Strap on.
Andrew suggested, yeah, you need one though. Andrew suggested just like a one-man seat here. And we both just, whatever.
Sit on my lap?
If it depends. It depends how we structure the kind of Tetris that's going on.
Bunk beds.
Bunk beds, whatever you want to call it, bro. Yeah, thank you for entertaining our episodes, our more frequent episodes. It's been fun making them.
Yeah. I think that's all.
Yeah.
If you made it this far and you're on Spotify, give us a 5-star rating.
Give us a 5-star rating.
We'd appreciate
one
that.
of these.
Yeah. Bam. Yeah, that'd be cool. I would love for us to like...
And show us. If you give us a 5-star rating, we would surprise you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I would love that. I'd love, because that like helps us climb the ranks. It helps Spotify kind of index it and show to more people and whatnot. And then it also helps if we're approaching people for like guests to come on and stuff.
Cool guests.
Yeah, we would appreciate that, because there's something like 500 followers or something on Spotify. And if all 500 people
that's a lot of
gave a 5-star rating, that would be crazy.
It's like 2,500 stars.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Thank you guys so much. We love you lots. We hope you love yourselves.